Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Monday at noon, 3 and 6 p.m. and again is re-aired later throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is April 2nd, 2018. And now the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal with a photo by Emily Rice with the Journal. Multiple fire agencies on Friday afternoon were fighting a brush fire west of Narragansett Reservoir off County Road 23 north of Colorado Highway 184. Dispatch called for assistance from the Dolores Fire Protection District shortly after 3 p.m. Friday. The Lewis Areola Fire Protection District and Pleasant View Fire Department also responded to the scene. According to Lewis Areola firefighter Dial Graff, the fire was caused by a controlled burn that got out of control during windy conditions. His department received support from brush trucks from Dolores and Pleasant View. Montezuma County Sheriff's Deputy Jared Kame said it appeared the departments were doing mop-up work by 4 p.m.
Reported in the Journal, photos Emily Rice and courtesy. Move over New Mexico. Southwest Colorado has green chili fever. 3 local restaurants are on the leaderboard in a USA Today 10 Best Reader's Choice contest to name the best chili verde in Colorado. An expert panel chose 20 restaurants in Colorado to compete for top honors via an ongoing voting process. Voting will continue through April 16th, and a winner will be announced on April 20th. As of Monday, the Chili Verde rankings had Oscar's Cafe in Durango as number 2, Benny's in Cortez as number 5, and Absolute Bakery and Cafe in Mancos at number 7. Oscar's has been family-owned and operated for nearly 4 decades. Owners Bruce and Paula Burge have been serving up their classic Chili Verde version of over burritos, eggs, and crispy hash browns for 35 years. We make it in a traditional Spanish Southwest way, combining New Mexico chilies with roast pork loin that has been slow cooked, Paula Burge said. Being chosen as one of the best is nice and verification of a good product, Paula Burge said. Down the road in neighboring Mancos, Absolute Bakery owner David Blaine has a simpler philosophy to preparing his popular green chili. We rely on the chili to do the work. Rather than adding a lot of different flavors, he says, we make it vegan style with no meat products. Without revealing too much, he said the recipe enhances the natural flavor of the chili and does not try to disguise it. The exact type of chilies are a secret, but they come from New Mexico, Blaine said. In the summer, hordes of tourists on their way to Mesa Verde National Park hear the good word and fill the restaurant, which has been expanding and is set to grow again. From Mancos, continue west on U.S. Highway 160, and you'll drop up to Benny's, a large-capacity Mexican diner in downtown Cortez. The Nunez family has been serving up Mexican classics in the area for 11 years and has a loyal following. Owners Victor and Maggie Nunez work alongside their kids, including Chef Benny, the youngest at 22. Victor created the Chili Verde recipe while working in restaurants in California. His style uses a combination of Anaheim green chilies, tomatillos, jalapenos, and slow-roasted pork. A meatless version is also available. People love it. They want it smothered on everything, over burritos and hash browns, on top of burgers and fries, even over biscuits and gravy, his son said Vic. To vote in the USA Today 10 Best Chili Verde in Colorado, go to the contest online at 10best.com.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, poverty is proving to be a persistent problem for families and children across the region, even though unemployment is low. Recently released Colorado Kids Count data show that 11.7% of children in La Plata County were living in poverty in 2016, which was almost unchanged from the year before. In Montezuma County, the poverty rate among children was about 25%, down from 29% in 2015. Those who grow up in poverty can face lifelong consequences, said Lauren Savage, a spokeswoman with San Juan Basin Public Health. Poverty is a toxic stress that affects language, psychosocial and brain development, and is linked to chronic illnesses, Savage said. The long-term trend for poverty in La Plata County is positive. While it rose with the recession, it has declined 4% compared to 1993, said Sarah Wilhelm, a local economist. However, in the last several decades, wages have stagnated, she said. Even though people are working, they are still not making ends meet. In 2016, La Plata County's unemployment rate was about 3%, and in Montezuma County it was 5%, according to the Bureau of labor statistics. Colorado has seen trends similar to those in southwest Colorado. While the state has had one of the lowest unemployment rates in the nation, the statewide poverty rate was 13.4% in 2016.
From the Journal, photo Mesa Verde National Park. Tourism is trending upward in Montezuma County, according to revenues from a lodger's tax and Mesa Verde National Park. The revenues from the county lodger's tax revenues increased by almost 10% in 2017. The 1.9% tax generated $171,138 in 2017, compared with $156,000 in 2016. Members of the Lodgers Tax Committee reported on Monday last week to the Montezuma County Board of Commissioners. The tax is applied to overnight visits in unincorporated Montezuma County, Dolores, and Mancos, including 5 hotels, 4 bed and breakfasts, 14 campgrounds and RV parks, 1 hostel, 10 vacation rentals by owner, 14 cabin rentals, and 3 guest ranches. The revenue is distributed each year to area chambers of commerce and other tourism-related organizations who apply for the funding through a grant process. The 2018 disbursement approved by the committee March 14th is as follows: $60,000 for Mesa Verde Country, $35,000 for Mancos Valley Chamber, $2,000 for the Galloping Goose Historical Society, $5,700 for the Ute Mountain Roundup, $20,000 for the Cortez Cultural Center, $32,000 for the Dolores Chamber of Commerce, and $5,400 for the Cortez Area Chamber of Commerce. The funding allocated to the Cortez Chamber is for the online recreation guide and the annual pre-season customer service training. The committee deposited the remaining funds into a contingency fund that now totals over $20,000. The reserve can be used for emergency promotional needs, for example, to inform the vacationing public the local wildfires are not impacting major sites like Mesa Verde. Brian Bartlett, treasurer for the Montezuma County Lodgers Tax Committee, said the lodging revenues are an important and effective way to promote tourism in the area consistently. The tax is paid for by visitors, and the revenues go to local tourism groups who promote the area and attract more visitors, he said. It's a good system. Bartlett manages the Baymont Hotel just outside Cortez city limits and said he saw more staycation-type visitors in 2017 than before. A lot of my customers told me they could not afford the big vacation but still wanted to get away, so they came here to visit Mesa Verde, he said. When we tell them about the Anasazi Center and Hovenweep, a lot of them stay another day. Other tourism-related destinations also are reporting an upward trend in tourism lately. Mesa Verde National Park recorded over 613,000 visitors in 2017, up from over 583,000 in 2016, said staffer Christy Brown. The park has seen a steady increase in visitation since dropping to 460,000 visitors in 2013. David Kill, a program supervisor with the Anasazi Heritage Center, also reported increasing visitation to the museum in the past few years. In fiscal year 2017, the Museum of Ancestral Puebloan Culture saw 29,097 visitors, up from 25,106 in 2016. In 2014, the museum recorded 20,798 visitors. I think lower gas prices are helping bring in visitors, plus we have been promoting our museum to larger bus tours, and we are seeing that effort pay off, Kill said. Candace Bartner, an information specialist with Mesa Verde Country, attributed the growing popularity of the region to more marketing on social media and YouTube. Plus, the area is becoming more known for outdoor adventure. People are finding we have more than just archaeology and are visiting to bike and at Phil's World and hike the mountains or raft the rivers. The summer evening programs at the Cortez Cultural Center are seeing more attendance also. In 2016, there were 3,225 people who attended Native American dances and Old Western performances. And in 2017, a total of 4,161 visitors viewed the Native American dance shows held at the Outdoor Plaza. A strong boating season on the Dolores River in 2017 was also improved for visitation. Record snowpack last winter triggered an extended whitewater release that lasted 85 days. The BLM estimated 24,000 boaters floated the river below McPhee Dam between March 29th and mid-June, racking up 56,000 visitor days. This year's dry winter means rafting will not happen on the lower Dolores River, and ski traffic was down. But tourism observers point out the mild winter extended the mountain bike season, especially attracting more visitation to lower elevations, Phil's World. Now, if we can capitalize on some of that here in Dolores County, perhaps add a lodger's tax, well, it's something the Dove Creek Chamber is working on for 2018.
According to the Cortez Journal, a red flag warning is in effect in Montezuma and La Plata counties from noon to 6 p.m. today. According to the National Weather Service, the red flag warning covers much of southwest Colorado, including Delta, Montrose, and Mesa counties below 6,000 feet. New fire starts will be difficult or impossible to control because of strong winds, low humidity, and dry grass and brush fuels. Outdoor burning, including controlled burns, is not recommended. A strong cold front is expected to drop southward toward Utah and Colorado on Monday, bringing strong westerly winds and low humidity in the afternoon and raising the fire danger to a critical level, the Weather Service said. Montezuma County faces extreme drought conditions classified as D3, and the federal drought map released Thursday showed intensifying dry conditions across northern New Mexico and into southwestern Arizona. Oklahoma is ground zero right now for the worst drought conditions in the U.S. Exceptional drought, D4. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The National Weather Outlook. Well, there's a new storm that can bring a longer duration snow event to areas farther to the north, according to AccuWeather. Snow will spread from Montana to Wisconsin and northern Michigan by Monday evening, but the heaviest snow is expected to impact these areas Tuesday into Tuesday night as the storm moves eastward. Several inches of snow will pile up along the storm's track, with amounts topping 6 inches across the western and central Montana area. Isolated amounts up to a foot are possible from southern Minnesota into the upper peninsula of Michigan. This includes in Minneapolis and Green Bay. Southern and Midwestern United States should not get used to tranquil weather early this week, as the risk of severe weather is set to increase on Tuesday. Before the thunderstorms roll through, a brief but dramatic warm-up will grace the south with May-like temperatures. High temperatures should approach or exceed the 80-degree mark in Atlanta, Birmingham, and Montgomery, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, and New Orleans on Tuesday. Temperatures will surge into the lower 70s as far north as Indiana and Ohio. And all of this is ahead of that low-pressure system dividing the country, with more snows across the Canadian border, with possible rain and snow mix dropping down into the Intermountain West, while the western coast and southwest remain warm and dry for now. The regional weather. Red flag warning again till 6 p.m. in our forecast. An approaching cold front will bring some gusty winds to the area today. Gusts will reach 30 to 40 miles an hour at times, and even possibly 50 miles an hour for the northern valleys. Because of these wind speeds, a wind advisory has been issued for the northern valleys. Dry conditions will also continue today ahead of that front, and with the winds and dry fuels in place, critical fire weather conditions will be in place. The red flag warnings have been issued for portions of southwestern Colorado to account for these conditions. As the front moves through this afternoon and evening, a few inches of snow is possible for the mountains along the Continental Divide, but little elsewhere. The next chance for any significant precipitation looks to be Thursday and Friday, as another front drops down from the northwest. After that, a fairly significant shot of precipitation is possible for the weekend, but confidence is low at the moment as this system is so far out. Locally, our DCTV 5-day outlook today: increasing clouds with a high near 67, breezy. Come on now, National Weather Service, it's windy out there, with a southwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour, increasing to 20 to 25 miles an hour in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 35, according to local information. Tonight, cloudy during the early evening, and then gradual clearing with a low around 25 degrees. Breezy with a west wind 15 to 20 miles an hour, becoming north after midnight. Winds could gust as high as 35 miles an hour. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 52, north winds 10 to 15. Tuesday night, mostly clear with a low around 28, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast after midnight. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 63. Southeast winds 5 to 10, becoming west-southwest in the afternoon. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 36 degrees. Then Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 65. Thursday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 40. Friday, partly sunny with a high near 66. Friday night, a slight chance of showers before midnight, and then mostly cloudy with a low around 40 degrees. Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 69 degrees. Saturday night, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a low around 42. And now, back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal with a photo from the Durango Herald-File, there is life after death for Colorado's forests. But to get there, the people who manage them must solve an economic quandary. Colorado's 834 million dead trees can start anew as your favorite rocking chair, the mulch in your garden, heat for front-range cities, you name it. The problem is the cost of removing and transporting them can dwarf the worth of their wood. Dead standing trees make up about 1 in 15 standing trees in Colorado's 24.4 million forested acres, according to 2016 data from the Colorado State Forest Service. And in 2017, invasive pests like the spruce beetle continued to whittle away the state's forests. The spruce beetle infested 206,000 acres last year, bringing the pest's toll to 1.78 million acres since 1996. You can't remove dead tree material at this scale, said Seth Davis, an assistant professor of Forest and Rangeland Stewardship at Colorado State University, referring to trees killed by the spruce beetle. It gets to be such a significant event that there's really no way for management agencies to deal with this material. But forest workers and landowners say they have to, in a state where overcrowded forests exacerbate wildfire risks and threaten devastation to key watersheds. Dead standing trees are everybody's problem.
From the Durango Herald, photo the Herald, Firewise of Southwest Colorado has announced a fundraising effort to fill a gap in its budget after losing county funding. The loss in funding comes amid a dry season in which the snowpack in Southwest Colorado is 55% of its average, according to this article. If the current drought situation doesn't quickly turn around, I'm afraid of what this wildfire season will look like locally, Steve Underwood, retired fire management officer for Mesa Verde National Park, said in a news release from Firewise. Montezuma County Commissioners recently eliminated financial support for Firewise of Southwest Colorado and its Neighborhood Ambassador Program, which provides education and technical support to help residents prepare for wildfire. Rebecca Simolsky, Assistant Director of Firewise, said the loss of funding has created a gap in our 2018 funds that supports wildfire preparedness and education in Montezuma County. Firewise is hosting Living with Wildfire, a resource fair and fundraiser to help fill the gap, the news release said. The event will include educational booths, demonstrations, dance bands, and live and silent auctions. It will be an occasion to raise awareness, have fun, and move forward, said Amanda Brenner Cannon, coordinator of Firewise's Montezuma chapter. The event will be held at the Mancus Brewing Company on April 28th from 1 to 9 p.m. The cover charge is $10 at the door, $8 pre-registration, and free for those 16 and under. Special guests include Smokey the Bear and dance band's Little Brother at 1 to 3 p.m., Karut Roma at 3 to 5:30, and the Afrobeatniks at 6 to 9. The live auction will start at 5:30 p.m. with auctioneer Larry Don Sukla. Food and beverages will be provided by the Mancus Brewery and the Blue Pepper Food Truck. To buy tickets and find event details, see Firewise of Southwest Colorado's website at southwestcoloradofires.org or find Firewise of Southwest Colorado on Facebook. And remember, if you haven't received the alert, there is a red flag warning till 6 p.m. tonight, Monday the 2nd, as conditions are dry and the winds are expected to be, well, more than breezy.
According to the Cortez Journal, with a photo by Mia Rupani with the Durango Herald. Lake Nighthorse opens for recreation Sunday. It is a moment decades in the making. First approved by Congress in 1968 to fulfill a water rights settlement with Native American tribes, it was scaled back multiple times before work on the $560 million project started in 2003. Water started flowing into the reservoir in 2009. That same year, the city expressed interest in managing the lake because the Colorado Parks and Wildlife declined to oversee it in 2008. Since 2011, the city has worked with the Ute Mountain Ute Indian Tribe, the Southern Ute Indian Tribe, and other groups that own water in the lake to determine what level of recreation is acceptable, Parks and Recreation Director Kathy Metz said. At the same time, contentious debate raged over motorized use versus quiet use on the lake. Durango City Council settled the argument in March by setting aside 2 days a week as wakeless days, meaning motorboats can go out on the lake, but they can't go so fast that they make a wake. The city will revisit how it manages the lake in a few months, but in the meantime, Metz said, the city is focused on the opening of the lake. The city celebrated the opening Saturday with a day of fishing for kids younger than 15. A formal grand opening ceremony will be held in May, she said.
According to the Denver Channel, photo Dave Camara, they hope you got your ski on this winter because they have some bad news. Ski resorts across the state will start to close for the season, some as early as this past Sunday. Ski Granby Ranch, Sunlight Ski Area, and Wolf Creek closed on Sunday, April 1st, 2018. But these three are not the first to close this season. Hesper Ski Area in Durango closed March 4th due to a lack of snow. Check out the closing dates for other ski resorts across Colorado. Arapahoe Basin is the furthest out, scheduled for June 3rd, 2018. Aspen, Highlands, Buttermilk, Cooper, Crested Butte, Monarch, Silverton, and Telluride are all scheduled for April 8th closure, while Copper Mountain, Echo Mountain, Eldora, Purgatory, Snowmass, and Steamboat are aiming for April 15th to close. As ski season nears its end, Colorado is facing a drought spell, as we've talked about, so get on with the rain dances for spring, people. New numbers released Saturday from the Natural Resources Conservation Service's website showed the state is at 70% of its normal snowpack levels and just 65% of where it sat on March 31st of last year. The NRCS website also states Colorado would need 10,079% of its normal snowfall to reach peak levels, which normally hit around April 9th. Currently, about 90% of the state is abnormally dry, with 20% experiencing extreme drought, the latest data from the United States Drought Monitor shows. And unfortunately, right now, as Kelsey said earlier, our southwest corner is sitting at a level D3, with D4 being the worst. D3 is extreme drought as of right now. Again, be careful out there, as fire hazards are a dangerous potential.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, roughly $133 million is expected to be made available to tribes to support Native American and Alaska Native crime victims, who advocates say had been largely left out of a federal funding program for decades. The appropriation for tribes was tucked into the $1.3 trillion federal spending bill approved last week, and comes as federal Native American programs and services overall are seeing a funding boost, including some that a year ago faced the prospect of drastic funding cutbacks initially proposed by the Trump administration. The Interior Department's Bureau of Indian Affairs budget, for example, will increase to more than $3 billion, up 7.1% from fiscal year 2017, according to an analysis from the National Congress of American Indians. The Indian Health Services is receiving $5.5 billion, a 10% spending increase over the previous year. The new money meant to help tribes serve crime victims will come from funds that have long been made available to states and federal agencies under 30-year-old legislation. It directs the Justice Department to use convicted federal offenders, court fines, and penalties to assist crime victims or surviving family members. In the past, however, tribes could only seek money for crime victims affected by cases within their jurisdiction by requesting money given to states. Often, the red tape and other factors kept tribes from seeking the money from states, Juana Mahel Dixon said, co-chairwoman of a National Congress of American Indians task force on addressing violence against women. Now, 3% from the Victims of Crime Act fund, administered by an agency within the Justice Department, is being set aside in the budget ending in September specifically for tribes, which the group described as an important step.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. April 11th, the e-agricultural disaster training and emergency planning for Southwest Colorado runs from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 at the Dolores Public Service Center. Register by April 4th. This one-day training will prepare producers, county officials, and other citizens to collaborate on emergency response in the area. For questions, contact the CSU Extension Office or gus.westerman@colostate.edu. The Community Health Clinic is reminding everyone that April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. Child abuse is a community problem. A report of child abuse is made every 10 seconds. 90% of children victims know their perpetrators. 1 in 10 girls and boys will be sexually abused before the age of 18. 1 in 10 will be solicited on the internet. And sadly, over 30% will never disclose to anyone. Every Thursday, that started March 15th and goes until April 12th, from 5:30 to 7 p.m., learn to use Google's free online applications. This class is geared toward adult learners interested in learning critical digital literacy skills needed in today's work environment. Students will learn to use online tools to manage real-world projects and decisions. The class will cover Gmail, Google Calendar, Drive, Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Go online for more info to durangoadulted.org. Held by the Cortez Adult Education Center, it's located at 10 West Main Street, Suite 110 in Cortez, or call 970-564-7004. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us by email dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well.
And be sure to check us out on social media. Facebook page DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.